Welcome to Knightline Live. I'm Jerry Middleton. Along with me, as usual, is Rick Fletcher. And it's a balmy -2 out with the wind chill, Rick. It's wonderful.
It's a beautiful day. The sun was out, though, Jerry. It was a beautiful day. You know, I'm from the Northeast. You know this,
Yeah.
right? This is what we call Monday.
Yeah.
All right. The weather's like this a lot. And it's nice, you know. Here in Indiana, we don't get a whole lot of cold weather.
Well,
So.
our executive producer tonight walked uphill both ways to school. He had to be here to run the show, and we appreciate her being here on a Monday night.
That's Kayla Hersey. Now, I happen to know her mom probably gave her a ride to come over here. So, and I don't blame her because it's cold. Well, let me make an announcement. If you want to be a guest tonight, come on by because we were throwing a little bit of a curveball. We were going to have Brianna J. was going to be with us tonight, but we got our signals crossed. So she won't be here. So if you're watching us and you can be here in the next 15 minutes and you want us to, you know, bring you on and interview for whatever you're doing, come on over. It doesn't even have to be sports related. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Maybe we ought to have the FanDuel guys come on.
Yeah, there we go.
Or something like that.
Well, what do we got? What are we going to lead off with
All right,
tonight?
we're gonna we got a lot. There is a lot. It's been a while.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably been. I think it's been about a month since we've been here doing Knightline, and a lot of water under the bridge, Jerry. So we'll talk about girls and boys basketball.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of piece on archery because their season is going on. And wrestling. A lot of wrestling. A lot to talk about with wrestling. So let's start off with that right there. Let's start off with wrestling. It was senior night last week. I think it was last week.
Yeah, it was middle school and high school all in one night.
Yeah, they were doing that. So they had their senior night. And so we do have some blips or some video of senior night. Now, not a lot of seniors on the wrestling team.
Correct.
Michael Henderson is the only senior wrestler.
Yeah.
And Madison Johnson is also a senior. She's a manager. She's been involved with this wrestling program. But I want to credit Melanie Berger, all right? You know how all those times I've been saying, hey, if you've got photos or videos, send them to us. Well, she was kind enough to do that.
Oh, my.
And so we have some senior night video. Also, Michael Henderson with his senior night match against Union City. So let's start out with that right there to celebrate the seniors. So let's go to that, Kayla.
Our first senior, Maddie Johnson. Maddie is a 6-year member of the NHS Damsels, 14-year studio dancer, 2-year member of the National Honor Society, 4 years on the NHS Student Council, Student Council Vice President, and she's been a wrestling manager for 2 years. Maddie's future plans are to attend Ball State to study elementary education. She's escorted by her parents Lori and Kevin Johnson. Michael Henderson. Michael is a 2-time sectional champ, a 2-time semi-state qualifier, a 2-time PEC champ, a 2-time Wayne County champ, a 4-year letter winner for the varsity wrestling team. A future plans are to wrestle in college or live in a van down by the river. He's escorted by his grandmother, Cindy Davis, and his father, Mike Henderson. Please get a big round of applause for our seniors.
Always a fun night for senior night,
Yeah.
and plus everything else that goes on around it, and
Yeah.
and just wrestling in general is a great time.
Yeah, Michael Henderson. Now, you look at Michael, and this is according to his coaches, okay? A lot of improvement from him from being a freshman, sophomore,
Yeah.
especially from sophomore to junior year. He went to semi-state last year. And this year, and I think his record last year was like 34-1 or 2 or something
Wow.
like that. And this year, probably similar.
Yeah.
And so, congratulations to Michael on a good career. He's not done. We'll talk about what's ahead for the wrestling team because they got a lot of stuff coming up and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of important meets coming up. So, we'll talk about that. But let's kind of go over to the girls now. The girls wrestling, Jerry, you tell me a little bit about that. That's not necessarily an IHSAA sport, is that
No,
correct?
it's not. It's I think it's sanctioned by Indiana High School, and then the G for girls and W for wrestling.
Right.
And
There
that's
is an
the-
association.
There's an association for it, and they had their state finals were at Kokomo on
Right.
Friday, and they have had previous weeks. They're like a sectional, regional, semi-state, and leading up to the state finals. And we were fortunate enough to have Heather and her sister Olivia Kroll go to the state finals.
Yeah, and that's a great and this is they did that last year too, if I
Yeah.
remember. And so let me ask you, you're kind of involved in this athletic director stuff, so you know a little bit more about that. Is there a move to make it an IHSAA sport?
Absolutely, there is. Right now, it's I forget the word to use for it. It's like it's in its infancy stage.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a movement for that, and it's going to happen. Like there's already some schools that have full teams.
Okay.
I mean, like for us, it would be very difficult, I think, to have a full team. Now, Centerville has a full team.
Yeah, I did notice Centerville's gonna-
For girls wrestling, which is pretty cool. But I'm not sure how it will affect us because I believe that Heather and Olivia both are grandfathered in that they can continue to wrestle in the boys.
Okay. So somebody's explained that. I'm sure somebody knows all the details of that. But anyways, great. Heather and Olivia. Let's talk about Olivia first. She's only a freshman. She finished third. That's a great
Yes.
accomplishment for her. She got beat by Juliana Ocampo.
Yeah, which is a really, really good wrestler. Now this was at the 110 pound.
Yes.
Okay.
Not at 105.
Not 105, which
Yeah.
is what Heather wrestles, is
Right.
105,
Right, so different weight class.
different weight class.
So Heather and Juliana, they kept wrestling each
Yeah.
other, and they were at that 105, 106, or whatever
Yeah.
that weight class is. So it looks like Juliana's moved up in weight class, and so she was the eventual state champion, I believe.
Yes.
But great showing by Olivia. She finished third in the entire state tournament.
Yeah.
And that's an all-day thing. You go through. If you're going to the end, you're going to wrestle probably 4 times.
You got to wrestle 4 matches.
And that's a lot.
That's a bunch.
You're there early. It's in Kokomo. You got to be there by 8:30. Coming from here, that's
in the snow and the
snow,
cold.
and it was a
Yeah.
terrible day for
Nasty
driving.
day out.
Yeah. And Kokomo is probably 2 hours from here.
Yeah, in that type of weather. Yeah.
And so you're out of here early, and with wrestling, you got to weigh in.
Yeah.
So these wrestlers don't eat breakfast when
Yeah.
they come to the gym or to the place where they're wrestling, so they can they want to make weight, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes it's real close. So, anyways. It's not optimum conditions for a lot of these kids.
No, it's not.
They got to get up early and drive a long way. And so, Olivia, congratulations to you. Looking for things down the road. Now, she also wrestles the guys like her sister does. So we'll see her in these tournaments upcoming here.
That's right.
But she finished third. Great showing. That's in the state tournament too. So
Now, Heather, on the other hand, she didn't have a long day of work
yeah.
because she pinned 34 seconds, 42 seconds, and like 24 seconds again. And her longest was a minute 57 in the first period.
Yeah, that minute 57 must have seemed like all day, though.
And 4 pins. And with that, if you win 4 in a row, you must be state champion.
So Heather Kroll, congratulations to you. You know, well deserved.
Absolutely.
I mean, these ladies, not just Heather and Olivia, but I'm sure all the participants. But we know firsthand how much work they put in. Okay. And we've had Heather on here before, and eventually we'll probably have her sister on at some point if this all continues. But really a great job. They work hard at this. These tournaments are not easy.
No.
It was a cakewalk for as far as work concerned for Heather, but she had to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a lot of work for preparation and a lot of work just to get it done. So congratulations to Heather Kroll. She is the state champion for the girls. Now, as far as being an IHSAA sport, I'm not involved with the politics. I don't know how that all works, but like you said, Jerry, at some point,
Yeah.
you get enough of them.
Probably within the next year or 2, it will be.
Okay, so they'll have their own
Yeah.
state-sanctioned tournament.
Yeah.
But it's great that they can have this tournament that they can go back
Absolutely.
to. That's really good. So, congratulations, girls, and shout out to their dad, Todd. He's their coach. So they I wonder what they talk about at the dinner table over at the Crawl House. Probably a lot of wrestling.
Probably about how bad the Cowboys got beat.
They're terrible. All right, but because I know their mom's involved too, so it is a family affair with these guys right here. So congratulations. And I think Heather is actually undefeated on the year.
Yeah,
anyways.
she is.
And Olivia is probably like 35-5 or some kind of record. She hasn't lost very much, and she's only a freshman. So, hopefully big things coming from her. Now, a lot of big things going on with the wrestling team. They're getting into their meat and potatoes.
They're getting tuned up for the sectional.
Well, sectional's coming, but before that, the Tri-Eastern Conference Championship will be at Winchester. That's going to be on Saturday. So if you get a chance, they usually start around 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And these meets like that, these big meets are a lot of fun.
Absolutely,
right?
they are.
A lot of stuff, a lot of busyness that goes on, and so get up there if you get a chance. That's going to be on Saturday, and I'm talking to the coaches. There is a chance that we'll have, a number of conference champions, to come out of that. So we'll see how that works. And the following Saturday, Jerry, we'll be up at Centerville for sectionals. So they'll start their state tournament. And so that'll be on Saturday, January 27th at sectional. There's 11 teams in that sectional, so quite a few teams.
And you have the crew of aficionados of a plethora of knowledge that will be on that match.
Jeff Matthews is going to be there. He's the old guy, all right?
Yeah.
He's been around. He knows everything about wrestling. And so he's going to be there with us. He's going to be he's the content guy. He knows everything about wrestling. I will make a plea right now. If there's an adult, I've already got a full crew, but I could really use one person to be what I call a runner.
You want a gopher.
Probably the most important position is a gopher, because we might ask you to go for get this guy right here to bring him on, because really this year we'd like to try to do a little more interviewing than we did last year. We're trying to up our game here. And we do this for the kids, all right? And so we'd like to bring these kids on to let people know who they are. And it's not going to be just Northeastern. There'll be other schools there. As a matter of fact, Newcastle brings couple kids. One of them is a defending state champion, and another one is, I think, finished third in the state championship. And these guys are brothers.
Oh, wow.
Right? And they'll be at that sectional right there. So then after that, we move on to the regional the following week. That's going to be at Richmond. And that's a big deal. You get a lot of big schools come in for that one. So a lot going on with wrestling. So get out there and hug your local wrestler. So, but if you want to be a gopher, here's the advantage. What you get is you get to get into the meet for free. It is a long day, all right, but you get to get in for free, and you get all the food you can eat in the hospitality room.
There you go.
And it's a lot of fun because we got a great crew that's going to work with us. So we really need just that one person who can dedicate to just getting things, go out on the floor and make sure this is happening. And it's not that hard. You don't have to know what you have to do. But I'll put that plea out if anybody's interested.
All right.
So I guess it's time for our first break, Jerry.
Huh? I think it's time to go to break. We're back in just a moment on the Knights Broadcasting Network. At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. That fear is the only enemy, the only thing keeping you from feeling that power in your bones. And here we are, right here, right now. Let's fly.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
KOA exit 151A. Registration and the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin. Relax at one of the fire pits or picnic by the pond. A playground for the kids, or get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride. Lay out by the pool, and then take a dip.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
Coming together every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
Dreaming of having more space? With a mortgage from First Financial, you're golden. We keep things simple with friendly, personalized service from application to closing. We'll help you find the right mortgage loan to fit your unique needs. Plus, you can qualify for relationship pricing with an eligible checking account. And since we live in the communities we serve, you can count on our local knowledge to make sure the pieces fall into place for an on-time closing. So stop dreaming and start moving with First Financial Bank.
Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more. Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
Well, welcome back to Knightline, brought to you by Astral Industries in Lynn. Mike, I'm thinking, Jerry, if you need a job and you want to get started in a career, you ought to go right up to 27, go to Lynn, and go to Astral Industries. They're a relatively new sponsor, and we want to thank them. We appreciate all of our sponsors, and they're new. So if you're from Astral and you're listening, we appreciate it. I'm going to make the thing right now. We got to make a commercial for them. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll get that situated. Our creative department's kind of been in hibernation, so
Yeah, that's for sure.
busy with a lot of other things. So Jerry, we have reporters in the field, okay,
Everywhere.
and we have breaking news right now. So go ahead and break that news.
Well, breaking news is Cameron Dayton, a senior here at Northeastern, won the singles sectional in bowling.
All right.
All right, over the weekend. And I think I heard a rumor that he rolled a 299 either last weekend or the previous weekend or something. Now, that's pretty impressive.
Well, for you non-bowlers out there, a perfect game is 300.
Yes.
All right, so somehow he left a pin dangling there somewhere.
The last pin didn't fall down.
All right, well, I'm not a bowler, so I'm not good at bowling, let me put it that way.
So next week, he gets to go to the Rose Bowl.
In Newcastle.
In Newcastle. Now, not in California, everybody. At Newcastle. So he'll be going to Newcastle to roll in the regionals. And so good luck to Cameron Dayton. And, well, maybe get a 300 this time.
Well, you know, what I've noticed, bowlers are dedicated.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it takes a lot of work. I mean, they're working on their craft.
Yep.
And so congratulations to Cameron. Go make your team proud, and you know we'll look forward to hearing some more results from that.
I used to be a proficient bowler.
Really?
I bowled a 301.
Yeah. How?
Can't roll a 300 and lose. There's my dad joke for the day. Even that got Kayla Hersey a little smile out of her on that one.
I don't know. Is that a smile? I'm not sure if it's a
Or is
smile.
it- or is that a glare? I'm
But
not
it's
sure.
definitely a look. We'll
Yeah.
put it that way. Okay, well, congratulations to all the bowlers.
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't talked much about bowling this year, but you know, there's always next year, right? But
Yep.
congratulations to Cameron. You know, we wish him the best as he goes forward. Let's talk a little bit of girls basketball. This is kind of a recap of what's been going on.
Well, I guess we start off with their tournament they had here.
Yeah, they had a great tournament, Jerry. They did a great job putting that together.
Yeah, absolutely. Went 3-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. I'm sorry,
2-1,
that's 2-1 on that, and with wins over, and I can't even remember Wapahani, which is a real good ball club, by the way.
Good. They came in. I think Wapahani when they came in, they were like 10-4.
Yeah,
or something like that. So a good win over Wapahani. Then whoever they beat the second time is escaping me, but they won their second game.
I can't remember who that was. But the third game against Fort Wayne,
it was an instant classic.
It was a great game, and great sportsmanship from Fort Wayne. It was just a fun game to watch.
It was fantastic. Those girls from Fort Wayne were a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, they were a good team. Now their record, they probably play a tough schedule.
Yes, they play a very tough schedule.
All right, I'm guessing they're a 4A school.
Yeah, they're a 4A school.
More than the Knights beat East Central pretty handily.
East Central. Yeah,
okay,
easy.
so that just came to me here. So they beat Wapahani and they beat East Central, another 4A school. Yeah. And then they got into the final championship game against Fort Wayne. What a game that was, Jerry!
It was a great ball game.
It was. They had. What happened was, they got up, then they got down by like 7, something like that, and that was pretty big spread right there. But then they came storming back. They went up by 3 at one point, maybe 4. They were up 1 with 1.2 seconds left on the clock, and the girl from Fort Wayne happened to get a layup. Now, first of all, let's go through the whole play because I watched the replay on it. Moss,
huge block.
Yeah, blocked the first one, and the ball, it's how the ball bounces, really. Yep. It just went right back to that same girl, and she just was able to put it up and in with 1.2 seconds. But Moss is down there. She's having, Addison Mastriano is doing a great job in all the things that we want her to do. And in that game, boy, she blocked without fouling, because normally there, if you're trying to block, there's a good chance for a foul. So they lose by a point, but it was a good tournament for them.
Yeah, it was a good tournament.
And good tournament overall. So I want to thank everybody who helped us out. We had the Drake girls, Kelly and Anna were helping us, and you and I did some games together. And it was just a lot of fun. It was, really a lot of fun doing all that. So good tournament.
And then they moved to the Wayne County tournament.
And it's total domination.
Yeah.
I mean, there really was not a close game.
No.
Unfortunately, the girls from the other teams, they played Hagerstown and Centerville. They're building, or trying to build.
Yeah.
And so you go through these things, all right?
Well, you're a small school. You ride the wave.
You ride the wave.
Yeah. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, and that's true of Northeastern, of all small schools.
Absolutely, it is.
It's not like you've got 1,500 or 2,000 kids where you're going to have a steady stream of talent always coming through. There's times that you're going to be down, and that's the way it goes. So that's kind of where Hagerstown, they find themselves in, and Centerville is trying to improve, trying to get better. So the Knights win their 5th straight Wayne County championship. So that's a good run. That's an impressive run.
Yes, it is. And then after that comes the big game of the year. And Tri-High Titans come to the castle and invade, and it was a good ball game.
It turned out to be a good. Now Tri got up pretty big in the beginning. It's just we weren't playing our best. There's no other way to describe it. Just honestly, we were turning the ball over, not taking good shots, and Tri took advantage of that. We had our. I don't think they're better than us. I mean, talent-wise, you have to say they're better because they won the game, all right? So they're going to probably go on and win the Tri-Eastern Conference Championship unless they lose, which I don't see that happening.
I don't see it. With who they have to play the rest of the year, probably not.
Yeah.
Unless by some fluke of a miracle something happens.
Right.
And so that'll should put your Knights into a finishing second in the conference, which is, it's not bad.
They're 13-6. All right, that's a good record. They're getting some votes for top 10.
Yeah.
I did see a poll today. They're like in 20th or something.
Yeah.
So that means somehow they're getting some votes. Somebody's voting them in. But really, 4 games left in the season. They went down and they beat Knightstown pretty handily.
Yep, Friday night.
So that was they dominated that for an easy win. They've got a good game coming up this Wednesday. We'll be there. It's going to be a home game against Anderson.
Yeah. And Anderson is vastly improved.
Yeah. They're not the old Anderson.
They're not the old Anderson. Yeah. This team will come in, and if you don't take care of the ball, you'll get beat.
They've got some athletes.
Yeah, they got some athletes.
And so I liken them probably a little bit to what we saw with that Fort Wayne team.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of quickness. And they got a couple of ball players that can really, they can bring it.
Yeah.
Okay? So I would say about our Lady Knights, this is going to be a good game for you want to gather up some momentum because sectionals are not that far away, Jerry.
No, they're not.
So you want to ride that wave into sectionals going on a high note. Okay, you really do. And this will be a good way to start that high note is with a victory over Anderson to start that wave.
Well, and you talk about sectionals. Well, Sunday is the draw for the girls sectional.
Yeah. Boy, it's hard to believe that we're already there.
Yeah, it's just went by fast.
Yeah, it has. Sectionals will be at Northeastern this year.
They will be at Northeastern. We
All
will be
right.
broadcasting all the games.
We'll be broadcasting all the games and pack the house is what I can
Absolutely.
say. Come on down, pack the house. We have the team that can win the sectional this year.
Absolutely.
There's been some disappointment in the past. We're not going to rehash that, okay? But really, I think, the way some of the girls are playing, that, this is the sectional
Absolutely.
that you have a chance, okay? And you want to take advantage of that. When you're in a position to win a tournament like that, you want to do that. You want to take advantage of that. And, because these are things, especially for the seniors, you want that memory to carry you through. And, well, a little side note here, speaking of seniors, Justice Slick has come back.
Yeah.
And she's coming off an injury, and she's starting to play a lot more. And they really want her to gear up for sectional.
Well, and that's right. I mean, she's coming off that injury and trying to get her legs, no pun intended here, get her legs back underneath her.
Yeah.
I mean, you can run straight all you want, but when you start
cutting
left, right, cut, accelerate, decelerate, that puts a strain on the legs. If you're not used to it, it affects your game a little bit.
It does. So that's what, it's good to see her back.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
And so we're glad to have her. Her leg's she's gonna be sore, all right? But that's the way it is. Coming off an injury, it gets sore. So you just put some ice on it and you be ready for the next one.
Put some ice on it.
That's all you got to do. So lot going on. We're not finished with girls basketball. They do have, like I said, they do still have some regular season games left before that sectional.
Yeah.
And the draw is on Sunday. That's at 5 o'clock on the Champions Network. There is not a charge to watch that, so you can go right on that ihsaatv.org and you can watch that draw. I tend to like to do that, to get on there and see who the Knights are playing. But it will be here. You're either going to play 2 or 3 games to win it, depending on how you draw. There's only 5 teams in the sectionals, so
Tuesday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, something like that. So look for that. We'll have more to say about that as time goes on down the road. All right, I think at this point, Jerry, we'll take a break. We come back. We got a little bit of archery, and we'll probably break down some boys basketball.
All right, you're watching Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries out of Lynn. We'll be back after these messages on the Knights Broadcasting Network.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
Are you being bugged about your floral needs? The Leading Lily, 927 South 9th, is a full-service florist with lots of great gift ideas like wind chimes, potted plants, hanging baskets, teddy bears, and much, much more. Convenient delivery available to residential, the hospital, and local funeral homes. The Leading Lily has bouquets to say, I love you, to weddings to say, I do. The Leading Lily, we have you covered.
Hey there, my name is Gibson and I would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students. That's our youth group at LifeSpring Church, which is just south of Northeastern on 27, and we meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. It's a great way to get to know more about God, meet some friends, as well as get to know about yourself some more as well. Plus, it's a lot of fun. We usually have some basketball and dodgeball, along with some other activities. And if you want to know more, check out lifespring.tv/students.
Martin's Country Mart, US 27 Fountain City. Swing in and grab a coffee or a frazzle. Maybe a fountain drink at Martin's Country Mart. We also have all your favorite snacks, bottled drinks, and of course, sweet bakery items. Plenty of accessories for dinner. And don't forget the grill menu, covering breakfast, lunch, dinner, and of course, the kids' favorite, pizza. Martin's Country Mart, Fountain City. You've had a hard day at work and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits. The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scaretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scaretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scaretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called time out because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, there's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astral Industries in Lynn, Indiana. If you're looking for a job, go up to Astral because they're looking for some good employees.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, yeah. Rick, now little boys basketball, they played in the tournament at Delta.
Yeah, there was some great competition up there.
And did fairly well. They played Fort Wayne South in the first game, and you know, Fort Wayne South has a lot of athletes.
Yeah, a lot of athletes.
And they beat them by about 10 points.
Yeah,
give
so
or take.
it's like they were in control of the game, and they won the game, so that was a good win. Then they beat Muncie Central, 4A school, with a lot of history at Muncie Central. Not recent history,
Right.
but a lot of history. Now, they just played Richmond and lost to Richmond by 8.
Yeah.
And we beat them by 1.
Yes.
So whatever you make of that, I don't know. But, they won. The Knights beat 2 4A schools, and then they played Delta in the championship. Jerry, something about Delta Northeastern is happening here. We always play them tough.
It's the Detweiler.
Of course it is.
Detweiler Ross.
Yeah.
Battle. They battled back when Detweiler was the coach at Union County. Now he's at Delta, and of course Detweiler is a Northeastern grad.
Yeah, he is.
And then that battle just, it's just a battle.
Well, they have, Delta's got a good team. They went to
Yes.
semi-state, I think, last year, all the way to the final semi-state game, if I remember correctly. But whenever we play Delta, we always battle them hard. It doesn't matter. Just to put it in perspective, Delta played Centerville, okay? And we're going to talk about Centerville here in a second. But Delta beat them by 30, okay? And so we lost. It was probably a 9-point final victory, but it was like 3 points, going down to the wire. And you know how that happens at the end.
Oh,
you
yeah,
add on
it's
some free
foul,
throw,
you stretch out.
Yeah, so that's how that happens. But, a good showing by the Knights up there in Delta in that Christmas tournament. They went 2-1. So, very good. Then you come back.
Move on to Wayne County tournament
Wayne County tournament
at Hagerstown.
Now, is this where I say what I think about the Wayne County tournament, or do we move on from that?
Well, I'll do a quick synopsis. Rick thinks all 6 schools should be in it.
Well, that's my
There
thought.
we go. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, at least Seton should be in it,
Yeah,
shouldn't? Don't you
yeah.
think? I mean, they're a Wayne County school.
Yeah.
And the same size as Seton plays all the schools anyways. But maybe Seton should be in it. Maybe Richmond's would be the bigger school, and Richmond's 16-0 this year, so they've had a great year.
Yeah.
So you would think that this year would be a year that they might dominate, but there's nothing like what happens is. It was before my time, okay? But it used to be, and you can attest to this, when all these schools would play Richmond in the sectional.
Yep.
And the idea was you wanted to go to Richmond and beat the big team.
That's right. You want to go
schools.
there. And all the schools other than Richmond ganged up on Richmond, fans-wise.
Yeah.
It was 2-1.
And I would imagine the gym was probably packed.
Oh, my gosh, yes, it was packed.
So
huge crowds.
But anyways, that's no longer.
Right.
It's been a while. But I think it's I think you ought to put if they're in Wayne County, then put them in. That's what I've always thought. And whatever happens, happens. It gives you a chance. If you happen to play Richmond, if you're Northeastern, you get a chance to play that bigger school.
That's right.
And hey, if you knock them off, you knock them off. That's just a notch in your belt right there. Now, I understand that Richmond would have the most to lose, all right, because of the size of the school. All right, I get that. That's a reasonable thing. But if you go to Delaware County, I think most of the Delaware County schools participate.
Yes.
I don't think Muncie Central's in that.
Muncie
Delaware.
Central is not, but everybody else is.
Everybody else is. So, and I saw an article in the Star Press about putting Muncie Central and Burst for some reason is not in that tournament.
Yeah.
About putting them in the tournament. So, if you had 6 schools, you could make it an all week tournament.
Madison County and Anderson's in it.
Yeah, they're all in it.
Frankfort, Frankton, and LaPel.
Yeah.
Everybody is in
all
it.
those schools.
Every one of them is in it.
Yeah. It makes for a good tournament.
Absolutely.
You do it on the girls' side and the boys' side. And now all of a sudden, now you've got a full week tournament. Okay. And so, hey, just a thought. But anyways, I digress.
First game, we play Hagerstown.
Right.
And they beat Hagerstown fairly handedly.
Yeah, by over 20.
Yeah. So not, it was an expected win.
Expected. Now Hagerstown, they're improving.
Yeah.
Okay, they're getting better, and So, you thought it was going to be a little more back and forth, and it was for a while, but we just kind of pulled away at the end, and it ended up being an over 20-point win. And so that set up the rematch.
Set up the rematch for Saturday, and to say it was a good crowd would be an understatement.
It was a great crowd.
It was a great crowd. It was noisy. It was hard-fought ball game, and the Knights could not hit that little 5-foot shot on a layup. A lot of misses on that, and ultimately Centerville wins the ball game.
Centerville wins. Congratulations to the Bulldogs. They won the Wayne County tournament. Northeastern had won 4 in a row, I believe, coming to that point. So really, we've been kind of dominating that tournament. But congratulations to the Bulldogs. They are the Wayne County tournament champions. But I'm going to say this. What it did, that Centerville Northeastern rematch brought interest back to the tournament.
Well, absolutely.
Because interest was waning a little bit. When you get one team that's just dominating, it's not good for anybody, okay? No. But I think it brought a whole lot of interest to that tournament right there. Yep. And, hey, we got the rematch, and Centerville won this year. They've won them both.
Yeah.
So both they won the conference match and the Wayne County tournament. So congratulations to Centerville. I'll be interested to see how they do in their sectional.
Oh, absolutely.
They're in a 3A sectional. They're a good team, Jerry.
Yeah, they got a nice ball club.
They're young still, and they're building still, but they're a good team. So talk about let's segue into the Tri-Eastern Conference. You thought the Knights were going to be out of it, okay?
Yeah.
But for some strange reason, Centerville did get beat by Knightstown.
Knightstown beat them by 2 points, I think it was.
So that puts the Knights right back in the mix for that Tri-Eastern Conference championship.
And then Thursday, Union City comes to town with 7 wins.
Yeah.
One of their best starts in a long time. They just played Monroe Central the other night and got beat in overtime at the county tourney. So you have to think, okay,
it's going to be
this could be a ball game.
Well, what it is you're thinking if you let down, you're going to get beat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jerry, the Knights didn't let down.
No, they came out and. In the first quarter, they jumped up, I think it was 7-0, 9-2, something like that.
Started fast and continued on.
And really never looked back.
No, really.
And it was a 20-point ball game, most of the first 3 quarters of the ball game. And then they turned it on and got it up to 39, I think was the most.
Got the running clock on. And really a great performance against a pretty good Union City team.
Yeah.
That if you came out and put up a bad game, you could have lost that game.
Absolutely.
But the Knights, good for them. Credit to the Knights, okay? Come off a tough loss to Centerville in the Wayne County tournament. But you know what? A lot of goals are still achievable.
Yep.
They can get that Tri-Eastern Conference championship. We do have a little video from that game. Caleb Moore and Trey Van Landingham. It's either Trey Van Landingham or Landon Scaretti. They go back and forth as far as who the high scorers are for the Knights. But so Trey had a great night against Union City, and Caleb Moore, just an unsung hero at this point. So we got some video that they were our Subway players of the game. So let's go to that, Kayla, and see what these guys had to say. I got Trey Van Landingham, a junior, and Caleb Moore, a sophomore. All right, Trey. Man, oh man, you were on fire, especially in that first half. You were feeling it. Talk about the feeling you had as you came out in this one.
Man,
put that right close to here. There we go.
Oh, my bad. In warm-ups, I really wasn't hitting nothing, but like at all.
Sometimes warm-ups don't go to the game, though, right?
Yeah. The game is just, I shot one, made it, and I just kept feeling it.
All right, let me ask you. Your team looked like you guys, coming off a disappointing loss to Centerville, you guys looked like you came out in this one ready to play. Was that what the focus was in practice all week long?
Yeah, Coach just said in the locker room, that's a way to respond from that Centerville loss.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're still in the conference hunt. I mean, that's your goal, right? You didn't get the Wayne County tourney, but next goal up would be conference championship, I'm assuming. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, that's Trey Van Landingham. He was on fire. He led everybody. I think it was 23 points, doing his usual thing. That was Trey. So you guys switch spots. We're going to talk to Caleb. All right, come on in here, Trey. We'll get you in. There we go. We're all looking good here, aren't we? All right, this is Caleb Moore. He's only a sophomore. I want to ask you, Caleb, so the roster says you're 6 foot. Jerry and I think you're stretching the tape a little bit, okay? But what I will say, and we agree, is you play a lot bigger than 6 foot tall. So what's your attitude when you get into the game? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I'm just trying to hustle and rebound for my team and get as many second chances as we can.
Yeah, a lot of times you're on their biggest guy, all right? I mean, is physical play, is that what you want? Is that part of your game?
That's my job. I got to go in for Sam, tallest guy, most physical guy, and I got to do the same thing he does.
Yep, and hey, every once in a while you get outside and put up a three. I mean, a lot of times I've seen you do that. You're like in a coma, all right? What goes into that? All right, now I'm going to take this three. What goes into that decision when you're out on the court? If it's there, you take it,
I
right?
just know I can make it. I'll shoot it.
All right. Well, tonight you did. You hit a couple of them. You were a big part of this ball game. So congratulations to Trey and to Caleb. Knights win big.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries over in Lynn. And Rick, so now the anticipated big battle, everybody thought, well, like you said earlier, Knightstown beats Centerville, and now here goes Northeastern to Knightstown. Yeah, I'm sure everybody had to be somewhat apprehensive.
Well, you were. There's got to be some anxiousness going on because they beat Centerville and they had 7 wins going in, so they've beaten some teams. No contest, Jerry. It was total domination by the Knights. When the Knights, this team. It doesn't. Landon Scaretti was on fire. He probably put up 6 threes. When these guys, when him and Trey, I'm looking for him and Trey Van Landingham to get hot at the same time to see what that would look like. But it was Landon's night. Now Trey scored double digits. Landon was pushing for 30. I think he ended up with 27.
Wow.
In that neighborhood, but he was on fire. And really, when the Knights put it together, they can beat some teams. Okay, so they're in the mix right now for that conference championship.
Well, if you win out, you're tied.
Yeah, and that's a champ. You're gonna be a conference champion. So, they still got quite a few conference games left. This week, they got a game. Who are they playing this week? LaPel's coming to town, I think.
LaPel comes to town.
So that'll be a interesting match right there. LaPel can put up a good game.
Yep, absolutely.
And so that'll be here. I think they're coming Friday night, so it'll be here. We'll be on the air with the Knights Broadcasting Network. So come to the gym, watch the replay later, and not too far down the road, Jerry, we'll be talking about the draw for the boys sectional. I think that's mid-February.
Yeah.
So we got the girls coming up this week, and then sectionals in a couple weeks. And you got a terrible.
Woo! Got my rally towel here.
Yeah, get to.
Yeah, these Reed.
They're kind of nice, aren't they?
We'd like to thank Reed Health for putting these out.
They did a great job. Yeah. Those towels are great.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah. So
for that.
So you have some opportunities to see the Knights, especially in basketball, wrestling. Saturday up at Winchester, go see them. Get out there and support your team. So I think we're coming to the end here, Jerry.
I think we got quick things remaining as we have Wednesday night girls basketball will be on the air.
Right.
So make sure you get here. It's against Anderson, and Friday against LaPel boys basketball. Make sure you're here. Always watch the replays at home.
Yeah.
And then I think you have a little bit of a video for archery.
Yeah. As we leave and as we say goodnight, okay, it is archery season. And you know, the guys and the gals over there, you got Brian and Doug and Judy. They do a great job of coaching this team. They've got like 60 archers.
Oh.
That's a lot.
That's a
now
bunch.
that includes the middle school,
Yeah.
but still, you got to manage all that going on. So they've started their season. So we're going to take everybody out on a little bit of. I asked for videos and pictures, and I get them.
And you get them.
And I'm going to try to use them best I can. Okay. And so we're going to leave as we go out with just a little clip that we have of the archery team, and I guess we'll see everybody next week.
All right. Well, for Rick Fletcher, I'm Jerry Middleton. Also for Kayla Hersey. You know what? It's been another good night.